Dans l'espoir docile des ailes fragiles, l'amour qui sommeille dans un souffle irréel, ma folie, mon envie, ma lubie, mon idylle.
After I went to university and I studied ancient art, I started in advertising, essentially. And I've been working in advertising for about 15 years, working on all kinds of brands for all kinds of ad agencies. And then the last 5 years I've really focused on luxury brands. And then really found that there were very few women left in advertising, and that made me a senior woman in boardrooms of lots of men, and just found that really frustrating. So I've always been creative, I've always loved art, we collect modern art. I've always studied ancient art, and I've studied interior design and graphic design, and we go to galleries and just being immersed in sort of art culture. So I just really wanted to learn a skill, essentially. I started going to evening classes at City Lit and at Central St Martin's, and just partly taught myself, partly learnt through a couple of really great jewellers. And then I started Lily Flo about 2.5 years ago. From a supply chain point of view, I wanted everything made in-house. And that's how I wanted to grow it, because I can control the quality and I can just be more flexible and versatile. So everything is now made by me. I only use the best and finest metals, but I wanted to do them in pure. So there is a lot of sterling silver, but what really is selling is pure gold and rose gold. The gemstones are all responsibly sourced, and they are all bought directly from India and Sri Lanka and America. And they're all through small family companies, and I think that's very important. A lot of those families have been selling and understanding gemstones for many generations. So ethics, responsible sourcing, sustainability, all of that has been built in from the start. My tutor at jeweller called Tanya Schwartz, who I think is amazing, kept on saying to me, stop looking at what other people are doing. You need to develop your own style. So I stopped looking at what other people are doing. I started cutting up silver wire and hammering it so it makes tiny little discs. And then realising that if I solder a lot of those little discs together, then I can make necklaces and earrings that sort of sparkle. A couple of things that I love about these. First of all, that they're soft and they move with your body and they feel like nothing, but they're made of solid metal. So I love that, but it's been interesting. And now I actually don't want to look at what anybody else is doing. My design process always starts with the woman. You know, the women that I love are not only beautiful, they're accomplished, they're strong, they're very intelligent, they do a lot of things, from being entrepreneurs to supporting charity, genuinely being passionate about something and wanting to, you know, use what they can do to actually change something. A lot of the women that I employ will be mums, will be, you know, women who want some help and some support, and so that I can train them with skill so that they can then go out and do their own thing. I'm very self-motivated and so very self-driven. I just am that way. So I wanted to be the best on what I could be. And so I worked at some amazing agencies on some amazing accounts and learnt and really just kind of pushed and pushed and pushed my career. And then I knew that I needed to be at a certain level before I had children. And then I had my daughter, and then going back to work was very difficult. The agency I was at had gone through a merger while I was on maternity. Pretty much the whole agency was taking voluntary redundancy. And I thought, oh well, I've walked into every single job that I've ever wanted, which I had at that point. It'll be easy to get another job. And then the recession happened, and it was very difficult. It was difficult for all of us, and it was even more difficult because I was trying to do I can go back and ask for 4 days a week, which didn't really happen. So most of Lily's young life I was working full-time, having nannies and mothers and mother-in-laws, and anybody I could find to help me, because I was essentially out of the house for 12-14 hours, because advertising, you don't do 9 to 5, you do however long you need to do, and there's a lot of travel involved. So I became the mum at work, mentoring young girls, which I loved anyway, you know, pushing them in their careers, but it made me realise that to genuinely have some relationship with my children, I couldn't work in advertising anymore, because you could be at pitches needing to work all weekend, like 20 hours a day all weekend, which you did because you're in that environment and that's what you do. But then when I was on holiday and sort of extracted out of that environment for a long period of time, I just thought, that's not me. And then as Lily, our daughter, started to grow up, I thought, well, that's not the world I want her, because it wasn't about, you know, meritocracy. It wasn't about doing well and you get promoted. It was about how you fitted in certain pigeonholes, who you worked to, and whether you were convenient to get promoted to build their career. And I just thought, I don't want to have to be beholden to a boss. I need to be that boss. So a lot of the mums that I know either don't work, a couple of them are entrepreneurs like me, but a lot of, you know, the women are bored. And some of them don't want anything. Some of them are burnt out by trying to have everything. And some of them just don't know what to do. A lot of the fire that started this business was about my experience within my old career. And what is the woman's place in society? What are our challenges? Actually, it's completely underrated quite how much we do and how much we're capable of and how hard we push ourselves. So actually women and the sensitivity around really what is a motivating philosophy to underpin what my woman at my design journey is. And at the moment it's a real dichotomy of the warrior and the uber feminine, and actually understanding that there are many different facets. Today I feel like warrior, tomorrow I feel like, you know, I want to be on a white horse and, you know, not do anything. I've also been on my own for many years. Just being free, and actually through the freedom and feeling genuinely liberated and genuinely like yourself, which actually takes a while to kind of, and a strength to even get to, then, you know, you can fly. And so that's why the designs end up being very feminine, because that's who we are women. And actually we should be proud of our femininity. So femininity, you found the right topic to get me on. Yeah. So the whole women, you know, it's always been my thing. So a lot of women in the ancient world were priestesses, because that was the only place where women were allowed to have power. But actually the religion had an incredible political presence over everything, and the governance over everything that happened in society. So it was a real, like, it shouldn't happen. You know, the women were in normal society subjugated. They weren't, a lot of, you know, good women weren't allowed to be out during the daytime, that kind of thing. They managed the home, but yet in religion, that was the place that they, you know, they had power over everything. And at that point, the modern reincarnation of the mother goddess cult, about real kind of earth mothers, about, you know, we are fruitful and fertile and therefore we have power because we can do magical things with who we are and what our bodies can do, which is just men cannot go anywhere near. And that kind of strength in adversity has always been something that clearly I can't help but connect with on a very deep level. I read a lot of biographies, so and autobiographies, strong women who follow their own, genuinely follow a dream, because they can't not, you know, they have to just keep going for all the journey that makes. And so this is the first time that it's genuinely been an adventure that I could not plan.